Legends, scifimq's official podcast. My name is Anna and I'll be your host for today's episode. With me is...
Matt, I'm Peter.
I'm Zian, and welcome back.
And I'm Michael.
Welcome guys. Now I know it's been ages since we've released a new app, and on behalf of the podcast team, I'm sincerely sorry for the long hiatus. But we're gonna make it up to you listeners with this very special episode because we'll be talking about The Last Jedi. Yeah, so before I start though, I'd like to warn you guys that there'll be major spoilers ahead. So if any of you haven't seen the film yet, what the fuck are you waiting for? Go see it now and then come back to resume listening to this podcast.
Well, she swore.
Yeah, or you can be like me and just sit here and listen, because I haven't seen it.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I'm like the token person who hasn't seen it, and then you guys can
It'll be
explain.
interesting. She
The
provides a new
non-Star Wars
perspective
fan.
Yeah.
from the eyes of a newbie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, okay, now that we've got all that out of the way, let's begin by discussing the major storylines of the film. So, to start off, what are your thoughts on Luke and Rey's scenes on Act 2?
That was pretty cool. My favorite part was like she was sitting on the stone thing, and Luke was like, reach out, and then
I love that scene, yeah. I love
the Force,
yeah.
and it was like just dangling the
It's
thing.
great use of humor in that scene, yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen that kind of humor in any other Star Wars. Actually, that was fairly contemporary. So like the other Star Wars didn't really like have a such overt kind of like what is that kind of humor?
It's kind of making fun of it's kind of meta humor on itself.
Yeah.
They often say reach out with the Force as if they know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Of course, Rey is very new to this, doesn't understand, and it's kind of pointing out that we all know what's going on, but she doesn't.
She's
Yeah.
kind of naive in that way,
exactly.
yeah.
Is this the one in the trailer where they were like on some island?
Yeah. And
Okay.
in the trailer, you would Luke would say like reach out, and then what do you see? You know, the dark, the light, life, death, all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
But like before she actually did that, she was just like literally reaching out with her hand,
Okay.
and then she did that. You know how
And it
like
was
in,
tickling her with like a
Little,
branch
like a
of,
leaf.
like some reed or
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
So
yeah.
I've seen
Like,
that.
do you feel the Force? Do you feel the Force?
So that's the Force. The humor in that kind of echoes some sort of like kung fu master type
Yeah.
movies. Have you
and
seen
it's,
that one?
and it's like making fun of that dynamic.
I guess so, because there wasn't really that like with Yoda and Luke and Obi-Wan or Anakin. We didn't actually see Anakin and Obi-Wan train, did we? They were just like, you're a Jedi.
They'll
I
kind
don't
of
exactly
ambitious,
remember. It's
yeah.
been a while since I've seen the prequels for
Unreal.
understandable reasons.
There are
Correct.
books on it I've read,
Yeah.
by Jude Watson. So they do exist,
Mm.
but not in the form of the stories, and I guess missions are really the training.
I feel like with that type of humor, there's been like an increase, like from that to like, you know, Thor Ragnarok and all that. There's been like a shift.
Yeah, I think
It's like not as
Guardians.
serious.
Even
I think
Thor's
it's the
very meta.
Disney effect. Disney just
Yeah.
likes to like dole out the humor
Well,
to appeal to their audiences.
Well, I'm not sure, because I guess
So it was also in
Guardian-
Force Awakens, keep in mind, a bit of this humor as well.
yeah, and
It's-
Guardians
it's-
as well.
I think it's more of a Marvel-esque humor.
Yeah, exactly.
That Star Wars, we're not used to seeing that kind of humor in Star Wars, but ever since Star Wars was bought by Disney,
Yeah, so it's
yeah,
kind of like merged.
this kind of humor has become more relevant.
So you didn't
Yeah.
see the humor much in Rogue One, of course, but that
Yeah,
was a
Rogue One
different
was
tone
super
of movie.
serious. Like,
Yeah,
you
But
know,
it comes down
Rogue
to
One
just
was the exception to the other films in
Well,
terms
there's
of the
only
humor.
been 3 since then,
Yeah.
so. But I have a feeling
what-
this trilogy is...
What
aiming
order
for
is
that.
it in? What order is it meant to be in?
you mean like chronologically?
Yeah.
The prequels, Rogue One, the originals, and then the sequel.
Okay, so then this is part of what?
This is part of the one after the originals.
Okay.
So like,
So
you know,
this is a part of the sequel trilogy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Okay.
currently the latest chronologically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we can kind of move on to the specific question, which is the Force Bond. And the Force Bond is actually the link between Kylo and...
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, Kylo and Rey.
we need to
Yeah.
discuss Rey and Kylo's fascinating connection
Oh
with
no,
each
no,
other.
no! But like, we haven't talked about the cows yet.
What
And
cows?
the green milk
The
and
green.
Oh my god,
What?
So
that
I
was
think
that was very jarring. Like
Yeah.
I did not expect to see that in a Star Wars film. So it's just
yeah,
what?
me neither.
It
but,
brought
like,
me
now-
out of the film for
Now
a
we
little bit.
finally know where it comes from.
I feel like I know a lot of people did complain about that scene being a bit out there and not necessary, but I do disagree
makes
saying
sense,
it.
yeah.
It shows how he's been living,
Yeah,
how
that's
it
true.
kind of sets up the environment, what he's used to.
Mm.
I feel like those shots are necessary.
Yeah, it takes a fresh perspective to Star Wars as well, because everything's kind of like, sterile.
I mean, it's a new universe as well.
Yeah.
Remember, you got to set up what the universe is, what is in there.
I think though it also links like episode 4 with with this episode, because you know how like in episode 4 like with Aunt Beru they had like the
blue
and-
milk, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like he really loves colored milk. But that's yeah. I just thought I'd also mention like I like how like Luke was originally not going to train Rey. That again is another sort of kung fu master dynamic where it's like teach me please, teach me please, and then like you finally proven your worth, I will teach you, or something like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
And of course, spoiler, he dies before he actually teaches her that much. But I mean, I'm sure he'll come back as a ghost later.
Yeah, she already knows everything anyway. So
So
That's a Hamlet thing. Comes back as a ghost. Yeah.
So shifting gears a bit here, we really do need to discuss Rey and Kylo's connection with each other in this film, because I found it one of the most like their scenes to me were some of the most fascinating scenes in the film. I really enjoyed their scenes, and I was hoping for more.
oh, more of them.
Yeah.
I'm really glad they're not related.
Yeah, it would be so awkward if they were. I'm glad they went the other direction. Yeah.
Oh well, we might just find out they are.
No, please don't wreck my Raylo dreams. Please don't.
It's like, oh, we're actually brother and sister. It's like, oh.
Are they actually like a ship? Because
Yes, they are. Okay,
Really?
they are. Okay,
Because I saw on Tumblr like
they are.
they were but they were listed under like some like problematic ship. And
Oh,
then
of course,
it's
that's
like-
the anti-Raylos.
So it's
speaking
Yeah.
against
the
it.
issue is, of course, they're like on the opposite sides of the spectrum when it comes to light and dark.
Yeah.
And it was the movie for a long time was building up these force bond, like where they'd see each other and kind of get to communicate through space, like with each other. And they did have some personal bond. They were kind of talking about their experiences. They did see something in each other. This was, of course, a designed plot by Snoke. But
Or was it?
yes, it was.
Well-
Snoke said so when.
Oh, he could have been lying.
Oh, was it?
Or was it?
No.
So, it's clear that even after Snoke has died, that
Yeah.
their bond still
Yeah.
exists. Because of one of the later scenes when she was entering the Millennium Falcon. But the main thing is that there was a bond between them forming personally, but only right until their battle at the end, when they kind of reveal their intentions that they wanted to bring each other to their
Yeah.
side. So there is that connection, but they're still on the opposite sides. And
They're
I feel
still-
like that's
yeah.
going to turn into hatred for a while, and very much just. It's going to go back and forwards, I expect.
I really love that line. It's like yeah, blah 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 blah.
You're no one. How to pick up a girl
But not to
101.
me.
You're no one.
That's like it's like your parents are in a pauper's grave, blah blah blah. You're no one.
Whoa.
And then he goes,
That's intense.
and then
What the
like
fuck?
because that's the main thing with Rey. Like, who are my parents?
You're nobody. You're no
Oh,
one.
okay.
It's just,
And then like but he sort of like caps it up at the end, but not to me. And then like
I read
he was like,
somewhere.
oh my god, that's so great writing.
Yeah, I read somewhere that like the relationship between Rey and Kylo was similar to Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice. So there were like parallels being drawn to it. Yeah.
No.
Didn't you read Pride and Prejudice and Zombies?
I read Pride and
That's the
Prejudice
one I
and it wasn't like that. I feel like because I read somewhere, because I don't know anything about this, I just know like all the offshoots and stories that like get in the news or on Tumblr. And there was like, I know, news and Tumblr. Yeah.
No, that doesn't go in the
Yeah.
same sentence.
But then I saw something about like Daisy Ridley like speaking up for Kylo Ren, like about how he's like misunderstood and all that shit. So
Yeah,
is that like true?
it's partially true. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Misunderstood emo kid. Just
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna fucking kill my dad and my uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's literally Hamlet. What the fuck? There's like so many Hamlet references.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that's misunderstood. It's like, ooh,
No, I think
misunderstood that stab.
now that you
not a
mentioned, there
face,
is like a
Dad.
Shakespearean tint towards like the Star Wars films.
Maybe I'll get. I've been saying that so many times though, because like all the fans I've spoken to, they're like, you should get into it. There's like new ones out, so you could start with that. But I'm always like, oh, maybe next time.
Because we're gonna start from the beginning. I feel like
Yeah.
for any series that's popular, like that's probably like not really sustainable. Because like for Game of Thrones, for example,
Oh.
like the first episode I've seen was like the one at you know the
With the
event?
dragons.
Yeah, with the dragons, like
Yeah.
at that last event.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, cool, this is cool. That means I can, like, I still got it.
Yeah,
at
but
that
you
point.
kind
Yeah.
of see who's already alive, and you don't really get the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Suspense.
you need to
Okay,
watch
so
from the
character.
very beginning to understand the nuance in the storylines.
I just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like with Star Wars, because in my mind it's like so long, but it's only like what, like 10 movies or something.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can smash all those movies in a few
Right.
days
Yeah.
compared to a TV series.
No, because like in my mind, because I like do all the long ones. I've done like Doctor Who, I've done
Oh,
Star
yeah,
Trek.
yeah, yeah.
So
There's,
in
like,
my
10
head,
series.
it's like, okay, Star Wars is like the same as Trek, right? There's like, you know, like 7 like separate franchises with like 7 seasons each and all that. But
No,
it's not.
it
It's like
was
10
never-
Most of
movies.
the
Never a
content
TV
is
show,
in the
actually.
form of
Yeah.
books, games,
Yeah.
and not really TV shows.
Never actually
unfortunately,
I
TV
don't
but,
know. Maybe if like someone
but there is a lot
forces
of good
me,
content in books.
someone forces me to like watch the first one and then I have to like watch the rest.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, I just bought a new TV, so like, yeah.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Moving
But,
on.
Yeah.
So, another very interesting thread of the film was the defeat of Snoke and Kylo's ascension to power as the new Supreme Leader. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the scene
Yeah.
Yeah.
where basically, while Kylo is down,
It's like
what's
he was
the name of
sensing the
this-
wrong thing, so he was like, "Oh, he
Yeah.
like because he was like reading Kylo's mind, and he was like, oh, I before when I sensed indecision, now I sense determination and that kind of thing." It's like, and then he turns his lightsaber to strike his true enemy, and then
Yeah.
he's like, it's like,
Snoke
oh,
was
fuck.
just completely blinded by his hubris in that
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
That was the best. Like, he was
Yeah.
the lightsaber was right next to him, and it's like, oh, why couldn't he sense it?
And plus, that scene was very shocking because we didn't expect Snoke to be
die.
out of the game this early.
So, yeah, exactly.
This early in the series, so it was a huge shocker,
M-
but it was a pleasant one.
Maybe that was like a force projection, and like he's like he tricked everyone. It's
Force
like,
projections don't kick out in half.
yeah, well, it's just that good, you know.
I guess.
But his head was like cut right clean off, so I don't know how
yeah.
anyone can come back from that.
It's a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
People come back.
Yeah.
Well, Darth Maul came back.
Yeah, like he was
Like
cut in
in the
half
Clone
as
Wars,
well.
and yeah, he was.
Maybe there'll be.
But it's like a
But,
headless Snoke.
He basically fell to his death and apparently got saved fairly quickly. So Snoke has been kind of sitting
For
there
hours.
for a while.
Yeah.
In a ship that is destined to really just be destroyed, honestly. So
Yeah.
But part of me was kind of disappointed that Snoke was out of this game this early because we
didn't know anything
Yeah,
about him.
yeah.
and he's incredibly powerful.
Yeah,
And I just
I-
wonder, how do you get that powerful without? By the looks of his age, I'm sure he must have been around when
Like
Yeah,
a century.
Palpatine was around.
He
and,
also
like,
said
what-
it. Yeah, like I saw the rise and fall of the Empire, and like
Yeah, he-
Clone Wars and the Republic. And
I don't remember exactly. I have a feeling he might be like 1,000 years old. Like I
Oh,
remember
Yeah.
reading something
Ooh.
briefly, but this could be just out there.
Could he be as
that
old as Yoda?
around about the
Yeah.
age?
But we don't know anything about his species. He's definitely not human, right?
Yeah, it's not human.
Yeah, he looks like a,
I guess the age can kind of explain the
Smell.
force powers, but then if you're, but I guess he would be that powerful for a long time. Why wouldn't he have just gone up to Palpatine, killed him, and become the Emperor then? I mean, like,
Unless he was Palpatine.
Oh,
Just those far off, like, crazy theories that fans
Well,
come up
is he
with.
kinda
unless if he's
same.
secretly Jar Jar.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say he's
Jar
kind of the
Jar.
same height as Jar Jar.
yeah.
His language skills has improved quite a bit. If you
Yeah, his language is a little
is.
flowery in terms like his language is much more formal. So it kind
Or
of hints
just-
at an old generation.
Even
A much more
by
older
the
generation.
way he's dressed, he's very
Cucumber.
almost like bathrobe comfy, but also like high class.
Space Hugh Hefner.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
basically.
It kind of hints like it kind of his robes kind of hints at royalty in a sense that Evan it
Just being
also
very
makes
wealthy, very high class.
yeah.
I wish we could find out more about him.
Maybe
But-
he was a member of an aristocratic class back in the day. Maybe that's how he built up his
Yeah.
support base.
I'm kind of disappointed that they kind of like they built up all this mystery around this character and didn't reveal just like, oh, well, it doesn't really matter at all. Just
I'm sure it would come up in the form of books. Some clarification.
some
Yeah.
clarified. I hope they clarified in the next movie.
Yeah, the novelization of The Last Jedi is coming in a few months, so maybe we'll get a lot more backstory on Snoke in the novelization. So, shifting over to the Resistance storyline, I thought the scenes between Poe, Leia, and Holdo were interesting, and yeah, what did you think of that?
So people around me would always like be wondering, why didn't she just tell him the plans? Why didn't she make things a bit more clear early on? And I feel like
Yeah,
people
she
kind
did
of
that.
forget that even though Poe is kind of the hero, he's not the commander. Like, he was even demoted to a captain for losing a lot of people. He's he's not the one running the show. And while originally, when he first asked him,
Yeah, what's your
Aldo may
plan?
not have had a plan then, but when he came in the second time, he pretty much openly, like, rebelled and was basically incredibly insulting to her when he first saw that they're refilling the ships without getting any context. She may have had the chance of explaining to him afterwards, but he was basically out of line. I mean, they're not exactly the rebels anymore, where the rank didn't matter as much. They're the resistance, but they were a bit more formally militarized. And so rank matters a bit more. You don't speak out in that sense.
No,
And so it was
the
removed.
rebels also had like
They had rank, it
ranking
was just
hierarchy.
didn't matter as much, at least based on
I think,
stories I've read.
yeah, I think Holdo viewed Poe as a pretty reckless person, considering his prior actions, taking out just one ship and sacrificing all the other bombers just for that mission.
I would have
And
done it.
yeah. So after
Well,
his-
you're not captain.
I mean,
Or whatever
you do
he
forget
is.
that they may have lost all those bombers, but they did take out a dreadnought, which is apparently
Dreadnought's
like
huge, almost
basically
like a Death Star.
they pretty much that's mass murder right there, basically.
Yeah,
Which-
like they
But they're the bad guys, so it's okay.
the first
It's
order lost a
okay.
lot more people than the resistance.
Yeah, but after that mission, their numbers have completely dwindled to almost nothing. So yeah, I can understand Holdo's viewpoint and seeing that Poe was completely
So
reckless.
my thing
person.
was, so they could have just done the whole kamikaze thing with another less consequential ship. Couldn't
yeah.
Or just like fly drone in, like
Oh, but if they flew right in, they would have just been destroyed by the cannon fire. But like if like one of them just sort of turned around and then, oh, I'm gonna kamikaze you now. Like
what?
I don't see why they didn't
They could've
offload all their
Yeah.
passengers earlier on and use them as just kamikazes as they try to escape. The support ships are nothing if they run out and get or fuel and get destroyed later.
yeah,
anyway.
so it doesn't matter. So like, why did they have to lose the flagship to do the kamikaze run?
It's like people only all of a sudden realize they could do that.
Yeah.
Then.
And why is it then a standard attack in Star Wars anyway?
A standard attack kamikaze.
Yeah, like well,
Yeah.
it's like you wouldn't have piloted ships. You just have like big, massive missiles that
Yeah.
just go hyperspace into you.
That's a
Basically,
missile. Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
what it does.
So that would be so cool. Like,
It would be.
It was
very
an
OP,
interesting
of course,
new
but yeah.
warfare tactic that they introduced in this movie. So I'm completely baffled as to why they introduced it in the previous films.
Is it more like guerrilla warfare now, or was it like that before?
yeah,
Beforehand,
like in
so the
Rebels.
TV series, say the Rebels TV series, a
Yes.
lot of the books before where the movie started was very much guerrilla warfare. And that did continue on. However, by the time the New Hope came and the first Death Star was destroyed, it then became a bit more formally militarized, as entire star systems with their own militaries would actually contribute their
Okay.
ships and equipment to them.
That means they should have like standard attacks and all that shit, and not just like fly their ship into this thing.
I think they were really desperate at the point. They were just
Uh-huh.
thinking of any tactic that might have worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm thinking you could just like automate those ships and stuff.
That's
That's
the
what
other
I'll
thing.
say,
Why,
like a
why do you have to
drone,
stay
like
back
a-
when it could be automated?
Yeah.
Of course, if she didn't stay back, the automation wouldn't have realized to turn around. So it's a plot point, really.
Well,
but-
it's I guess the main thing is it's a movie. Come on.
yeah. I mean, it
We're
was still an
overthinking
awesome
this way
scene.
too much.
Yeah.
Build some photon torpedoes, launch them.
Yeah, I mean, if Star Trek ships were to come in, like they would totally own every Star Wars ship.
Literally.
That's some
Yeah.
fighting talk right there.
It would though, because like the shield, the Star Wars lasers wouldn't even penetrate the shield.
Why would you say that?
We can save this discussion for another time, gentlemen. Okay.
And they just like transport a bomb inside every ship.
Oh my
and then
Yeah, but Star Wars has magic. They have the Force.
Yeah, there's magic. Come on, Matt.
We can save this
Yeah.
debate for another time.
Yeah.
But moving on.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you guys think of Rose and Finn's scenes on Canto Bight?
It
This is the controversial one.
was really pretty in Canto Bight, but in terms of story, I'm not sure how necessary they were.
So it did have some story elements. I don't think it really meant that they should have taken as much time as they did on it.
Yeah.
But it did add a lot of world building.
Yeah.
So
It
there were
did,
some
it did.
important
Yeah.
points that it made, is that there are lots of people making money off it, selling to both sides.
Yep, and there are
That
like
there's very much grey rather than black
Yeah.
and white.
I really love that bit when
Yeah.
what's the name of that dude, the codebreaker dude,
DJ.
Yeah, so I really loved how he sort of brought it up, and then it's
Who
like,
the
ooh,
fuck's
they've
named
been-
DJ? What?
Well, actually,
What
it
is
stands
this?
for "Don't Join."
Oh,
He doesn't have an
okay.
actual name,
Okay.
and it's just a code name actually.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
like he's basically playing both sides, and then that ship that he stole, like the weapons dealer was selling to both to the First Order and
It really introduces another human element towards Star Wars, so it's not just black and white.
It's also a anti-Han Solo almost. So
Yeah.
in games, very much the good guys would always have a choice between like a trooper, a Jedi, or a smuggler, or a roguelike, and it's always like this roguelike is a good guy. But why is that the case? I mean, they always play for themselves, and so this kind of goes against that with some level of good sense that he's only helping himself. When he gets in trouble, he makes a deal to get out of it. He doesn't take these sides.
Yeah,
That sounds smart. I like this DJ person.
but it,
Well, he does survive, and that's a
Yeah.
key point.
That's,
oh well,
So-
Finn-
yeah,
Finn and
so
Rose also
self-preservation
survive.
goes a long way.
Well, but they also like.
He might die in the next one if he comes up, but
I'm like
Well-
rooting for him, man. Don't worry.
What do you guys think of the little dogs? Oh, the big dogs, I mean.
What
I think another
There were some
purpose
race dogs.
of
oh, the
okay.
race. Oh, yeah.
yeah, I think another purpose of the Canterbite scenes was social commentary. Like they had a lot of social commentary in terms of slavery, in terms of animal cruelty, and I think it provided like another layer towards Star Wars, but at the same time, it was kind of a little bit heavy-handed.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like really apparent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel Rose
yeah.
did point out one thing that is story-based, kind of the only other thing that adds to the stories, their mentalities and philosophies. So Finn is very much fighting because of revenge and trying to get away, but Rose is fighting to save what she loves. And so I think there's a point when once all these, I forget their names, but once they're all released and they finally get off the one that they've escaped on, Finn says destroying the town is completely worth it, and Rose only thought it was worth it after she'd freed him. So she removed the kind of the collar
Saddle.
and the saddle
Yeah.
on the animal and basically said now it's worth it because it's not about revenge, it's about freedom. So it's a philosophy point there.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I kind of like still find a bit weird for such a technologically advanced galaxy or society as Star Wars, that like why do they still need people to do anything? Like yes, okay, yeah, the animal cruelty thing would have been still a valid point because they're like some people would still want to do shit like that. But like, why do they need those kids to clean everything and all that stuff?
Because people are just human.
Yeah,
pieces
I
of
guess
garbage.
people are plenty.
It's a
Yeah.
little
And
bit
cheap.
contrived. Like, but
I mean, if
robots are
slavery
cheaper.
exists, if slavery exists, people are very numerous. Maybe they're cheaper.
Anakin was a slave, so it kind of comes
but-
back full circle.
Oh, but I guess what I'm thinking is like it's not. It
I think-
doesn't fit with me because like like.
Was it on
I think
the
in the
ship or,
universe
like,
there's
in a-
limitations to the robotics of
Yeah.
some sort, but I'm not sure what.
Was it on like some village thing on like a planet? Or...
No, it wasn't like a really nice. It looked like Monaco actually, and
It's kind of like a resort planet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the entering scene when he said like terrible people, and then it switched to that sort of really posh alien guy, and then like he's like it's got like a wine glass and stuff, and then it zooms
Oh,
out
yeah.
onto a yacht, and it's like ooh cool, and then it goes into the side of the waterfall that flies off, and it's like that's not so bad. That's pretty cool actually.
These,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if it's about social commentary, then it's like, even though in parts of the world, like first world countries, we're like really, well off, there's still going to be some aspects of slavery, like modern day slavery happening.
And inequality.
Yeah, which is probably what the film was trying to like get at.
Yeah, I know. I guess it's just that doesn't. I'm too much of a Star Trek person. It doesn't square with me. But like, yeah, that took me out. That took me out of the movie a little bit.
Right, you do realize Star Trek is very much on the social commentary.
Yeah, I
If that
know.
took you
But,
out Star Wars,
yeah,
you'd
no,
hate
but
Star Trek.
Matt, come on.
But with Star Trek, like a human society, or at least the Federation, is all like replicators and fine.
Uh-huh.
So Anyway.
Anna's expression right now is like so pissed
Yeah, I
off.
should say this for the listeners, but I'm not as Trekkie, so I have no idea what they're talking about.
Oh, okay, cool.
Last but definitely not least, Luke and Yoda was a very pleasant surprise. Yeah. Any thoughts on that?
Yoda came back. Wow.
Yeah.
I know who
Well,
he
as
is.
a
He's
As
the
a
green
Force
guy.
ghost.
He's the green guy. I know.
It was very much in the uncanny valley. Do you think?
Yeah.
The animation.
Oh, it wasn't.
That's what I
Wasn't
felt.
it not an animation? I thought it was the actual puppet from Return of the Jedi.
Was
not
it a
so
mixture of
sure,
puppetry
honestly.
and CGI?
Well,
maybe?
it-
A mixture would make sense.
Yeah.
But
It looked very much like the puppet from, the same design at least from Return of the Jedi.
The actual puppet doesn't look that nice though. Like if you just
No,
zoom
that's-
in or whatever, it's like not.
Yeah, but that's what I meant.
Yeah.
There's a lot of practical effects in the new trilogy, and like that's a JJ thing. And I thought that one was like, oh, did they just like take it out of the cupboard and then use it again?
That would be good though. Like I could see that. It's like authentic for the long time fans, and it's like not.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't have
cool.
to design a new one and all that.
Yeah, but like the Force Ghosts seem super powerful as well. So I'm like, why? This whole Force thing. I guess we'll just leave it as a mystery because it doesn't seem to have any kind of consistency.
That's true. And they keep introducing new features of the Force, like in every single movie. So I just assume it's just.
But I guess like the new people have to add their own like twist to stuff. So
Yeah,
that's true.
there might be some retcon or there might be like some new lore added.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, Force bonds, for example, existed before in the extended universe.
Yeah, and also
Um,
like Force projections, and I think
I'm not
that's
too sure about projection, but perhaps. It-
yeah, like
This
it's
is
like a
magic, and
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So you don't really worry about it.
Magic.
Yeah.
Magics.
and I mean, if you look at say like Harry Potter, they invent spells.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's, I could imagine that any powerful enough Force user can invent a Force power by carefully concentrating on it.
manipulating the
Yeah.
midichlorians.
Basically, so
Did they actually have to say like some spell thing? Or?
No,
No.
It's
Okay.
all just thinking and like
It's very internal.
gestures.
It's a
Okay.
very internal
Occasionally-
process.
If it's like really internal, they can
occasionally
like
they have to
invent
like
all
meditate
kinds of...
or really think about it. But
Yeah.
if you're very powerful, it's more just offhanded.
Yeah, that's like I can see why it's like so easy to like think, oh, this is a new movie, kind of want to add my own touch to it, and
But
yeah.
also, you don't want it to stray too far from what the original films have introduced. So you
Yeah.
gotta keep that good balance going in terms of ways to use the Force.
Yeah, do you hear that, J.J. Abrams? Do you hear that?
I really doubt he's listening to this podcast. Yeah, but go for it.
I mean-
IJJ, can you give me a job?
So, having some time to think about the film, I definitely think that a theme was failure. Would you guys agree on that? Failure.
Oh, okay.
What's a failure?
Yeah.
You're a failure.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, man.
Oh no.
Literally everyone fails in this film. Rose and Finn on Canto Bight, they failed their mission. Yeah, Rey's mission to bring Ben back towards the light failed. Basically, the whole film was about a series of failures.
Wasn't the thing like what's the saying? Like failure is the
Failure is the greatest teacher.
In fact,
Yeah,
it's
or some
Yoda
shit
that was
like
kind
that.
of saying
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that scene, he was saying that the most important lessons to learn include also failure and learning from that.
Maybe it's just like because on the hero's journey they have to like fail at a
Yeah.
certain point in order to get better.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just like the whole movie's just like that stepping stone
No,
on the
thinking
hero's
about
journey.
it, there's not too much failure in terms of the individuals of like Luke, Obi-Wan. I mean, there is
Luke
some.
failed quite big.
No, actually, no, you're right. Empire.
Luke, you
Yeah.
loser.
No, you're
Yeah,
right
he's
because he
like-
lost his arm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, like he tried to kill his nephew.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
but that
that
was
was-
later on. That was beyond his hero. His hero's journey had already completed by then.
Okay, like yeah, there was.
So we're talking about like the complication in the story.
Oh yeah, yeah. He
Mhm.
lost his arm to his dad. And
It's
then,
his
like-
hubris of going
Whoa.
forward, and then
Yeah, yeah.
Rose altered it. But yeah, I guess Obi-Wan was not as much for. He's kind of already grown up at that point and failed off
Yeah,
camera.
Obi-Wan
I guess.
created Darth Vader.
Luke
Yeah, I guess
failed.
there's that. And,
Well,
I
that's a
guess
pretty
Anakin
big
slash
failure.
Darth Vader. Did he fail?
Oh, yeah, Darth Vader's pretty
Yeah.
badass actually. Yeah, okay, maybe he succeeded.
But
Yeah.
in this movie, because Anna's asking about this movie,
Yeah.
so What
But
do you
yeah.
What do you guys think?
It always
Okay.
gets dark before it gets better. So
Yeah.
It's very much about failure. It's
Yeah.
about learning from this failure.
Everyone failed. Poe failed because like he killed everyone, even though he killed the dreadnought, and then he got demoted, and then I don't know.
It's just pointing out some things within the other movies that were kind of taken a bit too far that people didn't notice it so much. It's not one fighter taking out an entire Death Star on the whim of a small chance. It's not a smuggler who is always all of a sudden good and fighting for the right side. It's you don't take these sort of out there risks. You got to think about it. You got to stop and make plans a bit more.
Maybe
you
that-
don't solve all your problems by just going out there and risking everything.
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to make it a bit more realistic. Because, on all those, shows on TV or all those movies, everything always ends, like, nicely after, like, a chance is taken. And maybe this movie
Yeah.
is just, like, a learning
Just shows
curve.
that don't learn from the other movies. Don't take those chances
Yeah.
because most of you are going to fail.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
Oh, Empire was kind of actually, to be honest with you, I thought this one was episode 8 was better than Empire Strikes Back.
oof.
But Empire Strikes Back had a lot of failure on the
Yeah.
on the rebel
I
side
tend to
as
think
well.
that the second movie is generally the darkest of the trilogy of
Star Wars?
Star Wars,
Okay.
except for the prequel because
Yeah,
episode 3 was
that
pretty dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe this could go even darker, and then like
Yeah.
No,
who
I
knows?
don't
Maybe
like
they
all
will
the...
do that to just change
No.
things up.
Yeah.
More meta commentary of things don't always have to be this way.
We are in the age of nitty gritty dramas.
No, but I
so-
don't like that. Because
What?
everything it doesn't need to be dark
everything
in
has to be
order...
Batman.
Yeah.
Or Breaking Bad.
Yeah, exactly. Everything doesn't need to be like, dark in order for it to be interesting.
Yeah. But it's the
Like-
current trend at the moment, so you would
Yeah.
never know if they're going to go one way or the
But
other.
you need to buck the trend, like Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, okay.
Come on,
I can't wait to
Well, I guess
pirate that.
The thing is,
I mean,
Matt.
buy it on
We're going to edit
4K
that out,
HD.
yeah.
Oh yeah, buy it on 4K.
you still
HD.
need a complication though. You still
Yeah.
need something to
But
hold the heroes
it doesn't
back.
need
and
to be like
that's-
everything's totally dark.
But if it's
though.
a drama, it doesn't work for Star Wars. I mean, Wars is in its
Yeah.
name. It's about conflict,
Yeah.
not drama type of conflict. but,
Because if everything goes
yeah.
perfectly, then it will be a really boring trilogy. It just...
I just feel like, because you know how we first started this about talking about comedy, so I think if they like expanded a bit on that, they could still stick with the dark theme or whatever, but it could be like, not that all the time, or else people would just go out of the theater just really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I agree with you. I think there needs to be a balance between too dark or too light.
Yeah.
I could imagine the anthology films coming out are
the
a good place
Yeah.
for this. Ones where they kind of they're a bit separate. They don't have to follow some larger arc, and they're more just building the universe with a smaller story.
Who's acting as him?
Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know him. Do they
He's-
look alike?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
If they don't look alike, maybe he can get his own, character building, and he won't have to stick with Harrison Ford's.
I'm kind of on the fence about the Han Solo film. I'm not sure how I feel about
Okay,
it.
We'll see how it
separate
goes.
podcast.
Yeah.
Just gonna put Harrison Ford in there, CGI his
I can imagine because it's meant to be younger, and I mean, the movie industry can make people look very different. So
I mean, he could just act as himself, and they could just, CGI his whole face. Like,
I mean, they do have the budget for that.
Exactly.
that'd be incredibly uncanny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it'd work.
Maybe.
No, they'll probably just spend the whole budget on actually making it work, and then
Yeah.
it'll be like a monologue, and then he'll be like.
And then
up on
Harrison
stage.
Ford will also kind of demand like a huge salary for it, and no.
Yeah,
No.
I think he asked to be killed in episode 6.
Seven.
His
Episode 5.
7.
Yeah, he asked to be killed off in episode 5, and then.
Yeah, originally. Yeah.
Huh.
no,
That's
but-
why he was frozen in
Yeah.
carbonite, because they weren't sure whether they would sign it on for the 6th movie, which he
Oh.
eventually did, so they saved him.
Yeah. Okay,
He's
cool.
probably really over it though, because he's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
acting
Oh, yeah.
as the same person for how many
Most
years?
people know him as Han Solo instead of any of other films that he's
Yeah,
done. So
yeah, exactly.
I'd say he's probably one of the more successful ones out of the original cast in terms of
yeah.
breaking out of the Star Wars thing. Because other people know him Get Off My Plane
and Indiana Jones.
and also Decker from
Blade Runner, yeah.
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 So he's got other roles, Like I don't really know Carrie Fisher from anything else, and I don't know.
Mark Hamill got
Well, Joker
lots of-
and all that. But
yeah,
those are cartoons
voices.
and video games.
so you don't really see the face, and
Yeah.
you may not recognize. I mean, voices are intentionally very different, so you may not recognize them.
Yeah, I don't know. He's very old. He's probably gonna die soon.
Whoa, whoa,
That got dark real quick.
dude.
Oh well,
Oh.
Carrie Fisher's dead. So.
Oh,
God.
Yeah, I know.
no. Please stop. Please stop.
Here's a shovel.
Oh,
Dude.
yeah. So, I think that I loved about the film was how it subverted expectations, what with the mystery of Rey's parents revealed and Snoke's death. What are your thoughts on that?
Dude, were you even listening?
I think that
I was. Yeah.
that goes back to what I was
We were
saying
talking
earlier
about
with
before.
the anti-Han Solo being DJ. I think the failure rather than successes of the like mission critical, although very low chances of success sort of missions. I think this is very much. I mean, she doesn't have to have that bloodline. People assume you need to have that bloodline or be connected in some way, but you don't have to be.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. It kind of opened up. So in the prequel trilogies, when George Lucas introduced the concept of midichlorians, that it was like, oh, okay, it's hereditary, and then now it's like
Anyone can be a hero.
anyone can be a
It's a bit of
Jedi.
It's a really powerful message.
Democratize it. Democratize being a Jedi.
Yeah. You can be
Yeah.
a hero, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
So would this convince you to actually watch Star Wars?
Maybe.
Again, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a halfway
Yeah.
convincing maybe, but I'll take it.
So basically, it's both. I mean, it is hereditary, but
Yeah,
you
it
can
be
still get it.
Yeah. So it's kind of like
normally,
yeah.
so
I mean, Anakin was a slave, but he was kind of like Jesus. So
Whoa.
born without a father type.
yeah.
Are we drawing those biblical connotations with Star Wars? Okay. Yeah, okay, this got
Didn't
deep real quick.
Didn't you say that like Rey didn't know who her parents were?
Yeah, because
So-
and then
So
when
another
she,
Jesus thing.
No,
Well, maybe-
no.
I think-
She was just
She
a normal.
still probably had two parents.
She had two
Okay.
parents,
Yeah.
and then but
They
they,
just
were
sold her
saying
off.
Yeah.
sold her off for
Okay.
alcohol, and then they were like basically nobodies.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
And,
Yeah, yeah.
First
I'm
we
really
thought,
sympathizing with her. Yeah.
yeah, because we thought she might have been like Luke's kid or.
I was hoping
Obi-Wan's
that she was a
kid.
Kenobi.
Yeah.
I was of the belief that she was a Kenobi.
Yeah, but she's not
yeah.
royalty. She's just a common person.
There was a good case made for her being Han's other child.
No,
Basically, a child that was like put
no.
away because they feared that she would be she would also get force powers and turn into Snoke. So like a younger sister of Kylo.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like
But it
the
was a good case,
thing.
but of course it.
Well, I'm really
as
happy
it's-
they didn't go that way.
Yeah. I'm actually completely fine. I'm actually pretty okay with the fact that they went the route that she was a nobody. But
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start with
Yeah.
these three.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And work your way backwards.
Maybe not. I don't know. I like the
That
fact
means if
that
this is your
you know,
original, that means your prequel is the original. And
Yeah.
that means, how do you feel about prequels of prequels?
Ooh.
I just feel like because I don't like the whole they're royalty or they're like a special someone. That's why they were chosen for this mission.
That would kind of
Kind of
alienate the audiences a bit
Yeah.
because it wouldn't be relatable
Yeah.
compared to Rey's storyline.
So I think-
Unless if you already
Yeah.
had the Force.
I like Rey.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really happy about this.
So that thing at the end, like the one of the slave kids that they
Yeah.
that they met like in Canto Bight.
Broom boy.
Yeah, broom boy. I love, so yeah, I think that whole theme of broom. There'll be a lot of broom boys everywhere.
It opens up a lot of storylines
Yeah.
that can be.
Yay.
So broom boy is probably gonna grow up.
And become like a focus of the new trilogy, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
Or maybe like he'll be like a helper little Jedi. He'll
Well, he
be
doesn't
raised.
have to be anything, really. It just
Just a
shows that
symbol.
he exists, or.
Yeah.
But we want more.
There's
He could
hope.
be
There's
Sith.
hope in the galaxy because as
He
long
could be
as
bad.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
who is a slave, and you know what happened to the last slave.
that's true.
Oh,
Are they trying to get like a movie out each year now?
seems like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna milk this until all the green milk is gone.
Yeah.
But hey, being a Star Wars fan, I don't mind it.
No, me
Yeah.
neither.
I mean, not a very fussy Star Wars fan.
No, yeah, me
So-
neither. Yeah.
Back during the 80s, was it like one per year or?
It was
I think there was like
every
a several
3
years in
Every-
between the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they had to like build. Like, I guess they didn't have computers. And
They had to
stuff
like
then.
build sets and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first one took a while. So the fourth one, first at the time came out. Then it was a few years before the second, I think.
Yeah.
only because it was very popular, but they didn't plan on making a second originally.
Yeah.
But now they're making things knowing that they're going to make another, so
Yeah.
things are overlapping. So that's why the Han Solo one is probably coming out in May, I think, because that started
Okay.
development back before The Last
Yeah.
Jedi had finished. And
I mean, they need to compete now with all the other,
Disney franchises
Yeah.
like Marvel.
all the other
and-
Disney
Yeah.
franchises. I mean, it's all
So Disney's just like raking in money.
And then Apple
Oh, yeah.
buys Disney. And then there's
Boy.
always a bigger fish.
Oh.
Did they film any episode 9 things with Carrie Fisher? Or,
I think they filmed a few scenes of her, and yeah.
I remember
get-
reading an article saying that originally they were deciding whether they would CGI her or not, whether it's appropriate.
in episode 9?
And they
They
decided
decided
that they
nine.
were CGI her.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
and I
So
don't
she
really,
still does have a role in episode 9 then?
I could imagine it's going to be lesser of a role, and I doubt she would survive past episode 9. But
Yeah, they
Yeah.
seem to be doing it, like, Han first,
Yeah.
and then...
Yeah.
We're starting to see a pattern here.
Yeah. It's like,
I mean, I think
uh-oh.
I think who's living in real life does play a part in this as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a case to make. I'm not too sure if there will be a trilogy after this. I know
I think
that there will be, but not chronologically
Yeah.
Yeah.
after, and so she could be left alive to die peacefully elsewhere. I mean, there's no reason why not.
Yeah.
There's also talk about live action TV series.
Oh no, I
About Star
don't
Wars.
don't compete with Star Trek. What is this? No.
I wish they'd do a Star Trek versus Star Wars thing.
No. Why?
Because, I
They're-
finally want to see who wins.
Well, it's all very opinionated. Whoever produces or directs it is gonna have their opinion going forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you bother, I mean, you can go into some sciences and try to determine this, but remember, these are fantasies with
And
one
what's the
has
point?
magic and the other is
One also... both
other
of
has
them-
like
both of them
literally
have
technology that goes
Yeah.
against quantum
Physics.
nature. It's like
magic. Yeah. Both of them have magic,
Yeah.
like you got Q and everything. And then I'm sure there must be some kind of godlike
Yeah.
character in Star Wars as well.
Yeah.
Still think
In
Game of Thrones
Rebels,
is gonna
there's
smash
the-
both of them.
yeah.
Which one?
Game of Thrones just gonna smash both of them.
But,
In terms of
really.
TV live action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You mean
Like
mean
how much money
audio?
they're making.
Yeah.
No, I mean like literally. I thought like literally mean put the characters in.
No.
Dude, if you literally put them together, Star Trek is like gonna win every time because like of
They
how
have the
big
best
the
technology.
ships are and
No,
like.
wait.
Oh no, Star Wars has
Star
bigger
Wars
ships.
is much larger.
Really?
Yeah,
they're much
like
larger.
kilometers long, whereas Star
okay.
Trek only has like
Hundreds of meters
Yeah.
long.
But they've got the Federation.
Yeah, but the Star
The
Trek,
Empire.
but Star Wars has the Empire. It has throughout time. It depends on what time period you're picking and whether you include the extended universe. But there's really a lot.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
gets a bit too geeky. at
But
that
Game of
point.
Thrones has dragons.
Yeah, you can't really beat dragons.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, look,
dragon can't
Star Wars
fly
has the
in
Death
space.
Star, which
Come
I mean
on.
they've been destroyed, but like
but dragons are
you have a
cool.
dragon and then you have like destroying a planet type of thing.
Well, the dragon could go into the core of the Death Star and destroy it.
Mm.
Well, in outer space.
Yeah, it's Space Dragons.
Space dragons to the rescue.
Oh my god, that's a new series, Space Dragons.
Flying into the core of things and blowing it up.
Yep, copyright sci-fi.
Anna's so not impressed. Anna's like, oh my god, guys, stop. She's just trying to do her job here.
Sorry.
Okay, you're
So,
gonna shut us up now.
Yeah, moving on to the reception of The Last Jedi. Some people absolutely loved the film, whilst other people absolutely hated it. Would you say that this is perhaps the most polarizing Star Wars film ever?
I don't understand why people hate it. Like, why do they?
There are some elements in the story that don't make entire sense. Some story progression that so I think Finn by the end of The Force Awakens, so during Force Awakens he went from the journey of trying to run away to helping the Resistance, and at the start
Yeah.
of this he tries to run away again.
Yeah.
Although to help Rey, it's still
It's still pretty self-efficient. Like, he wasn't really thinking of the Resistance. He was just
either
thinking
he
Rey.
didn't grow then or he didn't properly
He didn't
look like he grew
well.
now. So it's
Like, his character arc was a little bit stagnant in The Last Jedi. Would you guys
So-
agree with me?
Well, he didn't really have much time.
Yeah.
So
There's like 9 people in the
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and you gotta focus on everyone.
yeah.
And it's
feel
like, and it's like the movie is separated into Arc 2, Rey and Kylo, Resistance, and First Order. So there's not a lot of.
But I think like
Screen time.
Overall,
they
I
made that
really
point
liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. So I'm not really sure why. I think,
I think it's because of the depiction of Luke that drew a lot of
but Luke didn't like what's his name's interpretation of his character. But
What's his name? J.J. Abrams?
Mark
no, the
Hamill.
other guy.
Mark
like
Hamill, the actual
new-
actor that played Luke Skywalker. Didn't
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
So who's the director? Who's the director? of this
Ryan
again?
Johnson.
Yeah. So Hamill didn't like Johnson's interpretation of Luke, but like he was like, this is the.
But it's
new
an acting
generation.
job, it's
yeah.
just
Yeah,
a
but he
job.
was like saying, he was like saying, it's just a movie kind of thing. I mean, they could have used a different character, I guess, because like at the end of Episode 6, Luke was like this super Jedi master, like saved the worst Sith ever.
In the trailer, he looks like a hobo man. Like literally.
With a
Well, that's what
beard.
they all look like.
Yeah, a hobo man.
Very
He
lonely
was
Luke.
living on an island in the middle of nowhere, drinking green milk and
Yeah.
Yeah,
fishing
hobo
for this
man.
food.
And he's
That
also
tends to
given
have an
up.
effect on you, yeah.
He's also kind of given up. I guess like the stress of like having a murderous psychotic family just got to him.
I mean, his
His
as
Jedi
it
temple was
would be.
completely destroyed because of his nephew, because of his actions that led up to Kylo destroying
and he blames
the
himself for it. of
Jedi
course,
temple,
so
yeah.
Yeah, but like Hamill still has this sort of like farm boy, blue-eyed, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed vision of Luke. But I think it probably needed to evolve.
Yeah.
And then a lot of I kind of like don't like people who didn't. They complain that Force Awakens was too much like New Hope, and then
Shit.
give us
This is
new
too
original
different.
stuff, and then now it's like
It's too
sorry,
different.
It's the original stuff. It's like I hate you. It's like just like don't even like those like what why like
They're just not going to be happy.
Yeah,
they're
don't
not going to be happy
bother
with
making
anything.
I was completely fine with the depiction of Luke. It really showed him
I'm fine.
as
I loved it, yeah.
as a human. Like, I think most
Fallible
people
human.
get caught up with the fact that he's a hero, he can do no wrong, he's perfect, there's nothing that he can't fail at. But like
Yeah.
this film really dispelled that myth and really showed that underneath it all, he's human. Like, people need to be reminded of that. And
Yeah, that's
this film did
Yeah,
a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, Luke himself explained it. It's
Yeah.
like it was taught when he was like trying to say that. Well, he was trying to explain why the Jedi needed to end
Yeah.
with Rey.
And it's like several decades have passed between the end of Return of the Jedi and Last
Yeah,
Jedi.
yeah.
So a lot of things could happen in between them. We're not privy to it, but
Do you think like in Episode 8 and there'd be a time distance between 8 and 9? Because like there wasn't no time distance between 7 and 8.
I
7 and 8.
think
much,
there
yeah.
would be.
That
Yeah.
would be cool if
Yeah.
they did.
because they are kind of.
You need time
Well,
to build up the new rebellion.
I guess where it actually plays off. So if you want to play it right from the end of this, they are kind of known, and there's an interesting story of them, I guess, trying to build up the rebellion,
Yeah,
try
yeah.
to find their friends in the right areas. But then you can't really just go from building up from a few people to like stuck in the Millennium Falcon to finding all your friends to saving the universe.
Yeah. They
So
were like the
that's
spark.
not one movie type of thing.
No, they were the
So-
spark that. But let's say they're the spark that'll light the
up the
fire
fire.
that'll burn the First
Yeah.
Order down.
I could imagine this movie would have to like destroy the First Order. They would have to sort of
Episode
win
9.
in some way because it. I'm just guessing they would have to win. Maybe they would lose in it if they're gonna go
Or maybe
against
like
it, but, yeah.
maybe Kylo Ren becomes like Emperor Constantine and becomes like light side guy and then like hey,
He will combine the best of both worlds, and
Yeah,
it turns
maybe.
out the First Order is actually doing good for the galaxy.
probably. I mean the
Yeah.
Empire did.
That'll be an interesting twist, but
There's no rubbish in any Empire.
Only in the capital.
Is
Yeah.
that how you like measure everything? You're
Wow,
like,
someone likes
look,
dictators.
Yeah. You're like, oh, no rubbish on the streets. Yeah.
And like really good security and
Don't worry, there won't be any streets for the rubbish to be on.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Go
Oh,
live
that-
in
that-
North Korea, man.
maybe the
Because
first.
all the ships were flying, so there are no streets. So, well, I mean, all the cars. I mean,
Maybe First Order will end like inequality and poverty and all that.
Wow.
The Empire was openly highly racist
against aliens.
against aliens. Yeah,
Oh, were there any aliens? What wasn't
there
there?
were very few aliens that were high level. So one character who I really like that was brought into canon through Rebels is what's his name? Is the Chiss.
like
why do I
is he
forget
like
his
is he
name?
like Palpatine's dude? Palpatine's guy.
He's a
Oh wait, no, he's the blue-eyed dude.
Red-eyed.
Thrawn.
Thrawn.
Yeah, blue-skinned red-eyed guy.
Yeah.
Admiral
So he's
Thrawn,
an
yeah.
alien that did while he was in training, and he basically faced a lot of racism, but he was a stronger character and got through it and raised the ranks quite easily.
Yay.
That kind of reminds me, Admiral Akbar.
She's passed away. Yeah.
Yeah, was he in the
He was in for like
episode
one scene. Evan, he was killed off like off screen in the same movie.
Oh no, like didn't they all die in the bridge?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but like was he the one acting that, or was it someone else?
I'm unsure who the actor was underneath. Like,
Oh. Yeah, it's a trap.
oh look, kill the
What, it's a
past.
trap?
Yeah, get rid of the past. Kill it if you must.
Yeah.
I think-
it's the only way you'll become what you're meant to be.
Are you guys
Yeah.
just like quoting now?
Yeah.
Just- okay.
Could have saved that to the end, but alright then. How does this film stack up to the original trilogy, prequels, Force Awakens, and Rogue One?
Ah.
How would
I'd
you rank
still
it?
put-
Well, that's a
Empire
deep
at the
question.
top.
Yeah, I'd put this one at the top.
I always save my deep questions towards the end.
Yeah.
I guess this is going to be high, but I don't have a properly good list because I did really like Rogue One
Mm.
with seriousness. I did. This does have its. So I do rate all of them really highly.
Mm.
I get or rate them all really highly, but
Yeah.
of course I'd still have to rank them. So this would be middling, I'd say,
Mm.
compared to the others. But I did, of course, really like it and all the others.
I think I would rank it like towards the middle, but up.
Middle,
But
up.
top, middle up, yeah.
Oh, but like this had the best like ninja fight scene in all of them. So, like no, it can't beat that.
No.
Like if I look at all the fight scenes from like all the previous movies, like that fight scene was the best. So
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I
Kylo and Rey
have to
fighting
agree.
the not Imperial Guards. I forget.
like what
Praetorian Guard.
Praetorian
Are they
Guards,
called
yeah.
the Praetorian Guard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a really good fight scene.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It
sort
was-
of
They
more
had different
improvised.
weapons,
Yeah, it's
It was so
Yeah.
interesting to see like two Force users using different lightsabers but working together. So it was pretty interesting.
yeah. But there were some
They're, like,
interesting
dynamic.
moves, especially
Yeah.
the final one where Rey chucks
shit,
her
yeah.
lightsaber to Kylo and then
Yeah.
he just turns it on and off.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
love
like
that.
just-
I love that.
It's a bit more inventive with
Is
the moves.
Do you know if the Praetorian Guard is force sensitive as well, or
I'm unsure.
No,
But they're
I'm not
highly
sure.
trained, that is for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah?
Well, like apparently not highly trained enough.
I mean,
Yeah.
if they weren't force sensitive, then like they wouldn't have had a chance at all. But like if they were, that would be cool.
But there was like several of them against two, so kind of evens.
No,
It's a little
Jedi, like if you're you're basically God if you're force sensitive, like and trained as well.
Well, I
But
guess
they-
there are
they-
different ranks of force sensitive, and both
Yeah.
Rey and Kylo were very,
At the top,
very
yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
Sensitivity. So everything came naturally to them.
Yeah.
I really liked the sheer brutality and raw emotion that was displayed in that scene. Like you hardly see in any of the other previous
No,
fight
yeah, it
scenes.
seems almost.
Yeah, it's
formal.
always
Yeah,
the
'cause-
Jedi being very calm.
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
yeah.
Or especially
for it.
in the prequels, there was a lot of like acrobatic jump flips and all that. You didn't see
Yeah.
that.
It was the 80s.
We're not fighting, we're just.
Yeah.
We're just dancing. We're
Dance
lightsabers,
fighting,
yes.
dance fighting. My favorite
Yeah,
fighting.
but I'd have to agree with Matt. Yeah, I think this is my favorite
Fight scene.
fight scene of all the
I mean,
Star Wars.
like even
Yeah.
at the end of the fight scene when he was like, trying to say, blah blah blah, you're nothing but you.
there was an emotional like
I've never seen that in any
Yeah.
Star Wars. That was like I can't really. Do you guys remember anything that even compares to that?
no.
Oh,
That has-
Anakin and Padme, of course.
Oh!
That was the best love story ever.
That kind of reminds me. People keep predicting that Rey and Kylo will be reverse Padme and Anakin. So.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
So what do you mean?
So,
reverse?
yeah.
One action cancels out another, it seems.
So you mean
know,
like
how Anakin towards the end he gave up his love for Padme in pursuit of power, whereas this people will keep predicting that will be the reverse of that. So Kylo will give up power in the end. Kylo will give up power and pursue his love for Rey, or yeah,
Oh, okay. I see what
infatuation
you
of
mean
Rey.
now. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
This movie is like number one because you know why?
You've never
The-
seen anything.
Yeah, I've never seen anything, and also the memes are great.
Yeah.
Like,
You really need to see it then.
yeah, like the Kylo Red
Swallow.
pants thing.
Yeah.
I would nag you until you actually see it. I would
Nag,
keep
nag,
nagging
all of
you.
them.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And then there's
Maybe.
all of the Clone Wars series, which is okay. And then the Rebels series.
And then all of the Lego movies.
Yeah.
Oh, how many cartoon series are there? And it's like 10
There's
almost.
just
I
Rebels and.
I don't even
Clone
bother
Wars.
watching
But
the
how many
cartoon.
seasons?
Oh, there's a lot in. So there's Rebels, I think, is 4 or 3, and then the 4th coming.
Yeah, and then like the Clone Wars had like
Clone Wars had a
6? Or I don't remember. Quite a lot. Yeah, a lot of content.
I think you're just better off sticking with the movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not like
it's
I'm
too
gonna
much.
watch the Lego movies anyway.
Oh yeah, there was that animated movie as well, the Clone Wars movie.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sakes.
And also like just Clone Wars as well, like the one with the
That very
hand
early
animation.
animation that was
before like
Hand
before.
animation, like clay animation.
No, like just like a pen and stuff.
Holy
like,
shit.
the other Clone Wars was like CGI.
Okay.
So this one came out right before Revenge of the Sith. It was supposed to be like sort of like
so that was like
a bridge.
2004, 2005.
Yeah.
That came out.
That's
Early
when-
days.
General Grievous got introduced there. General Kenobi.
Yeah,
I
now
know that.
now for some ending questions. What are your favorite scenes and quotes?
I think I already mentioned those. So yeah,
You beat me to it.
yeah,
The fight scene.
The fight
yeah, the
scene.
fight scene and the like I love you.
Just
basically the I love you.
basically any scene between Rey and Kylo, they were just magic on the screen. I just loved their scenes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But about like they were like touching fingers and then
Yeah, I
Luke
love
was
that
like-
scene too.
And Luke was like, "What the fuck you doing?"
I love the memes that came out of that scene. I kept imagining like Luke coming in with a shotgun.
Yeah. Like what do you do? But Ben's his like nephew, so
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've
So he's-
already discounted the fact that like they already see him as gone and
yeah.
Yeah.
he needs to go. I don't know.
Yeah.
My favorite scene, I guess, was the hyperspace jump.
Oh,
It's just a
Kamikaze.
beautiful. Yeah, it's just really a beautiful
nice,
scene.
Yeah.
it was a chilling scene. There was there
The
was no
fighting
music.
scene was with Kylo and Rey together fighting the Praetorian Guards. I really like that one. The Canto Bite scene.
No.
It is good looking. Is what I'm saying. It's
The casino.
It's just interesting, universe wise.
Yeah.
But not counting the story wise. So yeah,
Pacing for that scene felt a little bit off, so wasn't a particular favorite of mine. Yeah. What do you guys think of Leia? Like that scene
Mary
where
Poppins.
the Mary Poppins Leia scene.
I thought it was really cool. It's like, oh yeah, she is a Skywalker after all. It's like she's got Force powers. Yeah, you know what? If she trained as a Jedi, she'd be like unstoppable. Like she'd be like the best general ever. She'd be like badass.
should be like
fucking-
General Grievous.
I guess she concentrated on politics a little bit, but if she also could use a lightsaber, then she'd probably kill the First Order a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, and so I've heard through some people that they didn't like the fact that she all of a sudden has Force powers, but it was proven in the original series that she was Force sensitive.
She was all yeah.
So she always had it, just never really used it.
Yeah.
It's
as you can
just
see
I
with-
think it was just a bit jarring for the audiences to see such an overt like use of her Force powers because we haven't actually been exposed to it before.
But she was like in a really like extraordinary life or death situation, so that was just like she probably wasn't even aware of it. Like,
she
was
probably
just, like,
triggered
emergency-
some dormant part of her.
Well, it's just like emergency mode, your body emergency mode. But yeah, she's
it's
she's
magic.
Darth fucking Vader's daughter, so like yeah, she can do anything.
yeah.
Yeah. So episode 9 unfortunately will not be released until 2019.
Oh,
Sadly. What do you guys think will happen in the next episode?
No. We kind of talked
Fall
about
of the
this a
First
little
Order.
Oh, you guys beat me to it.
bit. Yeah.
The final reveal of the Yuzhan Vong.
Yeah.
The extended universe stories.
These were like super villains that weren't affected by the Force. So that's why the Jedi were like
Well, like the
powerless.
leftover one, like
Huh?
the leftover ones.
What are
And
the
that part of the
leftover ones?
building of the Empire was to secure the
Defend.
universe so that they can defend against the pending invasion. And
Yeah, so they
Um,
really just screw themselves by like not going with Emperor Palpatine.
this is all not canon anymore because of. But they might bring it back because they've brought some things back. So
Yeah.
Thrawn was, for example, his race, the Chiss, for example, knew about the invasion. They sent him over to inform them and to act as kind of a
Liaison.
liaison. kind of.
Ambassador, maybe. Yeah.
I guess more to live out there and be kind of part of them, but also to pass a message, to train with them to, yeah.
Maybe like
So
yeah.
Thrawn is related to these Unfolding Stories, and he's back. So
I think
not
it's probably too complex. And it's
it
not.
would
doesn't
require
really
a
add anything.
trilogy of its own, honestly.
Yeah.
So it would be nice if they like hinted at it. There's like a small scene or something. Just,
Like an Easter egg.
yeah, like an Easter egg hinting at it.
Oh,
It'd be
really?
cute.
I'm not really so attached to that.
I'm not
that.
terribly attached to that story either, but it's just if they're not going to make a sequel trilogy, then
Well, I reckon
It
they
doesn't
should.
really
I
make
reckon they
much of a
should set
difference.
that in the Old Republic. Like if they're gonna spend money on making a new trilogy, like then
Oh.
set it on the Old Republic.
I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really
And
would.
You'd have like Revan and all those dudes.
Well, yeah.
I think
I
they-
doubt they'd do Revan, but I would enjoy the times when there are lots of Jedi, there are lots of Sith, and the big battles
Yeah,
between
yeah.
them. So.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I think that they will expand on the balance of the Force in
Episode 9.
yeah, because they
Ah.
keep hinting of they keep
Grey.
hinting yeah, Grey. That'll be awesome to see.
So the new Jedi will be like more enlightened.
Not Jedi, because Jedi is like the old
gonna
Jedi,
die.
but like Grey
Oh,
Force users.
But Luke said like, "I will not be the last Jedi," and then.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Oh.
But like the
Change his
Jedi
mind.
philosophy would change.
Yeah, it would have to
Like Rey
incorporate
would
some
think.
elements from the dark side to
Well, they were
Really
kind of
work.
really like Nazi, like actually pretty fascist in their like, because you weren't allowed to have any possessions. Actually, that's communist. But like they were
I mean-
pretty
No,
extreme.
they were
in their-
highly devout.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you weren't allowed to form any attachments.
they had a very Spartan way of living. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just restrict themselves of any earthly possessions and just
Just kind of deny that they were denying their humanity.
yeah.
So maybe-
That doesn't work out well in the long term at
It
all.
worked out for 1,000
We
years.
can, yeah, and then you can ask all the living Jedi.
Yeah.
Master Skywalker.
It might have worked
There's too
back
many
then,
of them.
but clearly it doesn't work now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was just an extreme reaction to that because, like, I think the Sith came about from, from the ranks of the Jedi, and that, like, I guess the thing was like, oh, okay, if we don't regulate ourselves, this is what we would become, so we just like do this. And so, but then
When
they
you
went to the other
over-regulate
extreme.
them, people go,
Yeah.
It's,
And it comes back to balance. Like there needs to be like balance between those two spectrums
Yeah.
of the Force.
I mean, there are 2 Sith, so and hundreds of Jedi, so balance
Yeah.
is get rid of most of the Jedi.
Yeah. So yeah, if you just don't have Jedi and Sith, you kind of just have everyone to be just like kind of regular, then there's no need for anyone to die. There we go.
End of
And-
Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then they'll use like the force sensitive people to like build, use their force powers for construction,
And for wars, and for... oh, wait, hang on.
Wait, hang on.
Any final thoughts?
Awesome
think
movie.
that was it.
Love it. Thumbs up. Would buy the 4K. Yeah, we'll buy 4K Blu-ray. Watch it endlessly.
Okay, you can hit us up on our Facebook, SoundCloud, or YouTube to share your feedback or even to engage in dialogue with us about The Last Jedi. Remember, you receive points for which you can redeem for movie tickets.
Oh
If
wait,
you-
no, Anna. What's the question for listeners?
I had no questions
You
today.
had no
No!
Oh, what about like what's your favorite scene or like what's your favorite movie from the franchise?
yeah, we can
Movie
do
is a
that.
bit general.
Which
but I
one?
guess
Which
see-
one?
Which one? Which one?
Which one, Anna?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I probably
You're
just
the
said that,
master.
yeah.
Okay, cool. What's your favorite scene?
Any scene between Rey and Kylo. Yeah, I just
no,
said that.
to the audience.
Yeah.
Any scene between Rey and Kylo, yeah. The Force Bond scenes, the...
Oh, so you're just giving them their answer.
Just like
Yeah,
A,
just-
B, C.
just like any of those
Okay.
scenes are my favorite scenes.
Okay,
yeah.
so
you
the
don't have to
question-
agree with me. I
Yeah.
mean, there's nothing wrong if you don't agree with me, but
Yeah, so the question for our listeners would be, what's their favorite scene in this movie? Yeah.
yeah. So listeners, what you can
They're not gonna
tell us in the
answer that.
comments. Yeah, I have a feeling they won't answer back, but
Oh, if we answer back, do we get double points?
oh, that's cheating.
No, Matt, come on.
Yeah, you can hit us up on our Facebook, SoundCloud, or YouTube to share your feedback or even to engage in a dialogue with us about The Last Jedi. And our question for the week, or question for the podcast episode is, what are your favorite scenes and quotes? Please don't hesitate to share them in the comments section. And remember, you receive points for which you can redeem for movie tickets if you participate in the comments section of our social media platforms. And thank you guys for appearing on the podcast, and thanks for listening, and may the Force be with you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.